Decent birthday joint.
Well, they also have a decent selection of scotch. So you just
Howdy, everybody.
Hey, what's
How
up?
you doing?
Thanks for the warning, Rob.
Hey, I told you I was having trouble. I had to get it going. We had to go.
And tonight's episode is brought to you by mayonnaise. Because what else would you have turkey or peanut butter with?
Hold on, let me try this. Hey, everyone. Welcome to What Are You Drinking Now? I'm Nicholas. That's Rob. This is Josh. We're working on episode 87 right now.
It's 85.
We're working on it. We're writing it down.
We are working on episode 87, but that's 2 weeks from now.
It's definitely episode 85 tonight.
Yeah, we finally got to episode 85. Mm-hmm. We've been trying at it so many times.
We were discussing a myriad of burger joints and decided that there's one that we like more than the others.
Okay. So
We are on.
We are on?
Yeah, burger joints. If you have a favorite burger joint, sit down, fast food, one that exists, one that doesn't exist, you let us know. Just type it in the board tonight. Just get that sidebar going.
Though I would prefer...
my buddy Chris, he's watching, and he spent many a afternoon at Bennigan's and Rockola with me when they were both still open in Wilmington.
Oh, yeah. Old school lifestyle, man.
Yeah.
Got to get my stuff here.
Oh, that's
good stuff.
I have a taste.
I have a little palate cleanser, or is this a taster?
I
Which
have a
one is
taster
it?
too.
I opened my taster first. That's funny.
So
That's
there
all
it is.
right. We'll keep
Okay,
that.
all right. I can live with that.
Now I got 3 beers in front of me. This is just okay. I'll get to. I tell you what, we'll save that episode for later in the episode.
Oh yeah. So my my palate cleanser night is the Ace Joker again. Still on my cider kick. Chris, it looks like you're in and out on watching. I hope you're seeing this because I did talk about you just a minute ago.
Yeah.
Sorry. It was good. It was all good. I promise.
That's nice. With Rob manning the comments, we have no other choice
What's your taste?
but to just imagine what people say about us, which is what we do most of the day. So, all good thoughts on my end. The people like us.
Impacted by what other people say, you know.
Yeah, I just thought it was all good stuff. Like, if they know what my mom, if they learn from their mothers what my mom taught me,
sticks and stones can break my bones, but words could never hurt me.
that's
Cool,
why I
Chris.
play on the internet.
Which is the biggest bag of
Yeah, I said you and I spent many an afternoon
That's
at the
not
old
true on the
Bennigan's and Rockola Cafe, Cafe.
Before
they both closed down in Wilmington.
Before I get into my real taster, I'm finishing off a sip of the Escape to Colorado. I know we talked about it last episode. Good stuff.
I thought you were going to Colorado for good. At least Josh fed me that rumor, and we were kind of being hopeful.
What?
Well,
Huh? What? I didn't know. I didn't say nothing.
Did I say that?
No. Maybe yes. I don't know.
I feel like I may have just gone to Colorado. Like I downed that thing, and it's 6.2. We'll see.
About 10 minutes ago, it kind of smelled like you went to Colorado. Where you get your attitude
it's
adjusted.
a hoppy
no
beer.
idea what they're
It's
talking
a
about.
very hoppy beer. In fact, it has a. Rob, are you describing like a dankness and?
Yeah, there's definitely.
Are you describing
that's-
Are
I
you
think that's part of the
describing the
profile
smell
of
of
this.
snow?
Yes.
Pure
snow.
Now,
And, yeah,
as
there's
far
no.
as my
Hey,
palate cleanser, guys, I am really going out there. And Rob's gonna love this.
I thought-
the palate cleanser?
No.
That's the taster.
Yeah,
yeah,
man, I just want to get started, guys.
yeah. Get your palate cleanser out and stop messing with our taster, Mister.
Hey, what, Josh? Do you have a bottle opener?
I do, but I learned earlier you don't know how to use it.
Oh, I do. It's just not what I wanted to do at the time.
That was
There's
that
one-
was
that
too
was classic.
funny.
There's
I was
one
not
up for the
watching.
mention.
Just,
You were like, "That's not the
So-
bottle opener he wants right now."
and the whole time I'm looking at the one you want, like
While
right
Nick's
in
figuring
front of
out
you.
how that works, my palate cleanser tonight is the Doc's New England Unfiltered Cider. Because Rob and I are kindred right now.
Oh, and Sherry Stocks, nice seeing you. Yes, Fat Andy's Long Beach Road is very good on their burgers as well.
Two Hearted
Actually, yeah.
from Bell's. This is just a classic, and a lot of times you guys would know this. I'm going with the IPA I drink a lot of for my afterworker, and then an IPA I've had like all the time with food, everything. So it's truly, this is like a neutral palate Bell's Too Hard a neutral palate for Nick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Nick and I are working on
but
a Tom
I'm-
Waits themed album, and it's going to be called Two Hearteds at 2 a.m.
Okay.
Wow.
So now that we've gone through our palate
Small
cleansers-
change. Put on aftershave.
we're going with the Sycamore.
I don't want to lead off. I just keep showing this beer,
well, then
and
put it
I'm
back
trying
up.
to tell you why I'm taking such an aggressive palate cleanser. It's because later in the show, we're going after something very, very new and huge. We got some Sycamores on
So put it
hand.
back
Yeah.
on ice so it doesn't get hot.
All right, if that's what you want. I kind of wanted the flavors to wake up.
All right, so first,
I kind of don't because I know it's going to be like super dank.
But he's like,
don't get water in the beer.
I put salt in the cubes. Is that okay?
He hasn't opened it
Somebody
yet.
told me that
Oh,
once.
he did open it.
They were
Was
like-
that already open?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then why are you putting water in the beer, dude?
I didn't. Don't shake the table and we won't have water in the beer.
Wait, like this?
So just, I don't know. I think I mentioned this one other time. Somebody once told me to put salt in the champagne bucket. I did not. It's a horrible idea. If you want salt in your champagne, just order caviar. Yeah, don't put salt in your
That's actually-
ice bucket for wine. Maybe with your like chilled outdoor beers, like cooler lagers. But basically, anything you put in there is going to end up with salt on the taste, and we're just not exactly fans of that.
So Brittany says they really like Sycamores. Haven't had one we don't like. Well, you haven't had this one yet, Brittany.
Brittany, we had you in
We just
mind
got it
tonight.
today.
I know it's not dark. This is a light one, but I got to tell you, the label has like a scoop of ice cream on it.
Yeah, so this is the vanilla affogato.
What is an avocado?
It's a lawyer, Rob. You should probably hire him.
Also, it's what you use to make guacamole. Oh, no, that's avocado.
Yeah, this is affogato.
Affogato. Like I forgot about it.
I don't
That's what I was
exactly...
thinking. Avocado.
It's like a lady in a Cadillac drives by and, hey, forget about it.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't exactly know what an affogato is, but I'm gonna say it's
I can't-
probably espresso and ice cream.
I feel like I've seen affogato.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, at a restaurant as a
Which,
dessert.
as I smell this, probably just reaffirms what I just said. I said that without smelling this.
Coffee cream ale. So I've got to go to the other screen.
That
so I can
coffee
make sure
smells
God,
awesome.
that-
That smells like coffee.
That
Sycamore.
That is a
Vanilla
good nose.
affogato.
That
Coffee
nose is
cream
like
ale.
when we grind coffee.
Yeah, that is a really awesome.
16
nose.
ounce pint, 6.4 ABV, and 475.
Remember Guinness Blonde? Rob remembers Guinness Blonde. I'm sure he put a few of those down.
The Guinness Blonde Lager. Yeah, no,
Not a fan. I remember him. Not a fan.
But okay. I wanted to get. I didn't want to associate flavors. Okay,
Brittany,
this is not
Brittany
about
says
flavor.
She's gonna need some of that, and I
believe
she's
so.
talking
She's
about
gonna like this.
the Sycamore.
Yeah. Basically, here's my point: is I could close my eyes and drink this, and I would basically. Is this a cream ale or a blonde stout? Like I'm really. This is pushing boundaries. This is great.
I'm gonna tell you right now.
It's a cream ale.
I'm gonna tell you right now that I've had a lot of coffee cream ales. They really hit vogue probably about 4 or 5 years ago. Really, one of the first memorable ones I had was Good Morning Vietnam.
Oh yeah, I do remember that.
Wooden Robot out of Charlotte.
Oh.
And I had that and the nitro version on tap at the tap room. Honestly, I think this is better.
I have not had that. I keep getting. I'm afraid of getting splinters from Wooden Robot, so I don't tend to have their stuff.
Are you gonna hit the sound for the?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Oh,
Which
dude.
button is it?
It's D.
I can't.
Yeah, that was the rim shot right there.
That was the rim shot. We don't have the headphones hooked up. I didn't even dance to the intro because we didn't do the intro.
Yeah. Intro music. We have the band tonight. They're fantastic.
Okay, that's enough of that.
Yep.
So, coffee cream ale. I'm digging this, guys.
Yeah, this is really cool.
What do you think of the flavor on this one?
It's something kind of special. I think that in a series of IPA or pale ales, I'm just forget I said IPA, but pale ales, cream ales, and just like simple ales, you're trying out some beers and having a nice like afternoon session with some friends. This is definitely something nice to sprinkle the bucket.
So I don't know that this is going to hit me for the afternoon, just because I'm either coffee in the morning or coffee at night. That daytime, it's hard for me.
I just wanted to throw that out there that way, and I got the reaction I was looking for. Is I think just what Rob said is you're gonna have people at the table like, "Whoa, what are we drinking right now?" And I'm like, "Come on, you've had a few beers, try this," and then you just go back right to drinking other stuff, and it's gonna be fine with this. And that's all that I'm really saying. Not that I'm gonna plan out or like Rob's saying, I want a coffee drink in the morning, I want a coffee drink at night. I basically, here's what I'm saying. All right, I'm going to cut down to the crux of this. There's nothing offensive about this beer. And so if you enjoy coffee and you enjoy beer, you're going to love this. And you could basically sprinkle this right in with other beers before and after. It's not going to have any problem.
I have a feeling that this might be my favorite beer of the night, just based on what the
nose,
advertising on the other can is.
The flavor, the texture's great, but the nose.
This is
Yeah, this is definitely. I mean, even the vanilla coming through on that is nice. Yeah,
I mean, this is a solid beer.
For those of you who think that was dead air, that was the sound of Josh smelling and swallowing beer.
yeah, that was for you SMR or whatever people.
ASMR is
Yeah,
the word.
them.
Well, here,
You have to listen close. You have to listen close though when Josh does it.
Yeah,
Oh,
get a
there you
little
go.
slurp. The slurp is real. Rob does really nice swallows for the podcast. The swish and swallow.
Yeah.
I really don't know how I feel
Not
about
sure.
how you
I'm
worded
feeling
it.
that there. Yeah,
I'm gonna go
You
ahead.
might be reading too much.
I'm gonna go ahead and say phrasing.
Yeah,
Phrasing.
I think I don't agree with Nick there.
You think that's right? You may, but there's like based on how it sounded, there's a really good chance you think you don't agree with.
That's
what I
right.
said.
That's right. I may
Here's-
not be positive.
Here's
but
the
I'm
deal.
pretty sure.
I think I got you on this. I understand. There might have been a little difficulty in understanding me. Please, I mean the best, Rob. I think you do agree with me here, and
Why are you playing it too hard into that?
I just want to try some beer, man. I just want to drink some
What
beer.
was that one? Oh, come on. You're trying to hide the dime
Guys,
bag.
if you want to... I got a little loud there. Sorry, Facebook. But it's... Josh called me out. I got a dime bag in the cooler. Sycamore Triple India Pale Ale dime bag is what they called it.
Triple.
Why? Because it's a 10%er. And here's the best part about a dime bag at the office: only cost a nick piece. Yeah, $5 for a dime
And as
bag.
long as you're over 21, it's legal.
That Rob. I don't know if there's a better deal in town.
The cheapest dime bag around.
That's-
So this
I'm
is
gonna go
Sycamore
ahead
again as well.
I'll go ahead and pour the cooler water off the top for you guys.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, this is Sycamore. This is a triple IPA. They didn't say Imperial, which sometimes for me, that might be a flavor characteristic thing to distinguish. So let's debate category open.
Well, there really is no such thing as a triple IPA.
Sorry to double rip on you there, Rob.
Effectively, you have.
I thought it was poor pass. Oh, looks like it treated you pretty well.
Yeah, I wasn't complaining. I knew Josh was only taking partial.
Harsh.
There is so much water on my elbow right now.
So
Is it the cooler? Is it? I think it's coming out of your phone.
Yeah.
yeah, I agree with you, Ernest. It is a great can. Sycamore is the brewery known for their controversial labels. Yeah.
Ern, the big Ern. What's
man?
going on, Ern?
So-
Good to see you in the shop today, bud.
Sycamore is known for their
Dude, you guys should know.
wait a minute, that was 5.6. However, it also had pork barbecue from Smithfield's in it. So that was 6.5 out of.
I'd say what 7.7.
No, that's a little high. I think it was
For
more
those who
6.5
don't
out
know,
of
the Big
7.2.
Earn's a big fan of
7.2?
some
Yeah.
New England beers,
So-
especially anything New Hampshire.
So this is a cool little can, 16-ounce can again, 10% ABV, $5.
It's laughable because it's like that's a deal.
Oh, no, that was my reaction to the nose.
Yeah.
Woo.
But yeah, Sycamore is the brewery that always gets in trouble for their
That
their
nose
labels.
is a
Dude,
bowl of
ever
fruit.
since the first Christmas cookies can came out. Also, they're from Charlotte, which I love them because I spent a lot of time in Charlotte.
The nose of this is somewhere between
Charlotte puts out some good beer.
Jello wrestling and Spody.
This
got-
smells like a bundle of hops.
So I've got
Yeah, but it's really fruity hops.
yeah, I got to tell you guys, I'm surprised. I was based on the name and the label. I was actually expecting something along the lines of Sweetwater's G13
Like
on the
very,
nose.
very dank hops.
Yeah.
I expected the hemp smell.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
The musty, hempy.
Yeah, Brittany, we know you love the Christmas cookie can.
Guys, joke as we will, but we've talked about this early episodes, but hops are actually in the same family
They
as
are.
cannabis.
Yeah, they are.
And so the smells,
I mean-
the similar smells, the phenols,
Seriously, I mean that's actually hot nuggets that
Yeah.
they're making.
they even look.
Yeah.
They have a. So I'm just. The joke's over at the moment you realize the botany of it. Like,
Yeah.
of course. Like, yeah, this is similar. And then it's fun again for the pun and the label. I do like both these labels, by the way, guys. There are some fun, unexpected flavors in there. And as 10-pointers go, and as the nose went, I'm very surprised by the underwhelmingness of the booze. Like, I know it's there, but they supported it really well.
I think we disagree on the flavor of this.
I thought we were going to end up with barley wine.
So from the can, we dropped a fat sack. That's old guy eyes. Fat sack of fruity dank hops into the triple IPA.
He wanted a pack, no
Hits hits a blueberry and a blaze of fresh citrus light up this 10% hot bomb.
Light up sounds about right. It's lighting me up in this dangerous way. It has this, I don't want to say tastelessness, but this just fruity water quality, which always tells me there's something else going on. It's
I can feel this wrecking my palate as I drink it.
So here's my thing. I'm getting the booze, the sweetness of the booze.
I think that's what's happening
Yeah,
with my
that's what
palate. I
happens
think
when-
that's what I'm trying to cue
when you
people into.
overbooze- beer?
The sweet malt booze is coming out, and the hops are backing it up. But like this thing, like I can legit feel it killing my taste buds as I take a sip.
Yeah.
Oh, more blue lights. Look at that.
Blue?
Yeah.
Godspeed, good luck. Eastbound and down.
So
Stay
Load up
safe.
the truck.
So like I said before, I was really, based on the labeling on the can, I was really expecting really dank hoppiness, very hemp.
I thought so with the
oriented nose.
pictures of nuggets and
There's
the
none of that on
hop
none of that on the
nuggets?
nose, nor is there any of that on the palate.
This the unfortunate thing about this is that it tastes like so many triple IPAs to me, where the malt and the booze overpowers the hops.
Well, I'm not even. I would go like the Two Hearted there. I get
All right,
from that
so,
one. I get a lot of the boozy maltiness in that
So
one.
now we know, like, part of the. This is what I was getting at earlier. Is I really am going to get to a point at this where I'm going to have to compare these two and be like, why, what, and honest. Josh is laughing. He's like, there is no comparison. One you can sell in restaurants, and one you can give to people who want to get drunk.
Yeah, which one's that?
This is the one that look. This gets sold in restaurants next to food. People.
Yeah, but that's what 9%er.
It's I believe 7-0.
7, okay.
They call it Two Hearted.
Yeah, the Two Hearted is just a traditional IPA.
It's a traditional IPA. It's one of the stronger of traditional style. And like when I go after this, number one, I'm just gonna say I taste way less of this than I usually do. All right, and this is my palate cleanser that I'm talking about being an aggressive beer. Josh might be right on this. Like the second, it wrecks the palate for itself. In a way, it's too much, too fast, and you can't even palate it.
If I'm gonna drink a beer like this, I need it to be the absolute first thing that I go into.
It's definitely one I can't slam.
All right, when I drink the
not
Two Hearted,
Yeah, there is a lot. The body, it's viscous.
when I drink the Two Hearted, it's funny you say viscous because one of the things that I appreciated is just the way the bubbles played in and balanced out with the malt and the hop in the Two Hearted. Like it just they melded together. I understood each thing's role. In this, I feel like there is a bunch of malt brewed to its extent. And then, wow, that's boozy. Let's toss as much hops on it as we can to cover that up.
I'll tell you what that beer reminds me of. It's like if I was working somewhere that had that on tap and I got off of work and I got a shift beer, that'd be the first thing I put in me.
These are free, right?
Oh, yeah, that's the spot. It's not bad. It's a lot.
And then whoever works behind you has to deal with the 5 customers who did what you did because they thought it was a good idea.
There is a lot going on in that beer.
I'm not convinced I'm going to finish my sample right now. I'm not going to pour it out. I do enjoy the flavor here, but this thing, like Josh is saying, it's a palate wrecker, number one. I've got like water ready. I've got my cleanser.
I can see the bottle Rob has ready, and I'm super excited.
Yeah, I'm not worried about palate wreckers knowing that wine's coming up. I'll tell you about that. Because this is the palate wrecker of California.
Yeah,
right here.
so I've just been showing you the cork as a teaser while they were
Is it
finishing
like
up on
a
that.
neoclassical, like...
It's got the dragon, and then it says slay it, and then it says the big red monster.
Is that... Like, yeah, but slay it. Think about it.
Then look at the cork. How
Are you
dank and
unleashing
dark
the
that
Kraken?
is. We're
Like-
we're unleashing the dragon.
Is that... Come on. Josh, do you remember who captured the Kraken and
Nobody
put it back?
captured the Kraken.
Who slayed it? Come on, Rob.
Was that Joseph
Not
the Argonauts?
No, not Pericles, but he was a demigod.
Yes.
And he killed it with
Yes.
Medusa's head.
Yes.
That would be Perseus.
Perseus.
Yes. Good job. So who's that statue of on the
Because
front?
thank you for 3 nerds sitting in a room.
So now you know what the label is.
That's also the alternative title for
Is
this
that
podcast.
the
3 nerds sitting in
statue of Perseus that lies
gonna
at the
bring up
base
Star
of the
Trek first?
steps
Hey.
to the Temple of Athena?
Who wants wine?
I do.
I just never mind. Forget I asked.
I guess.
Hey, Nick. I'm digging this new setup because I don't have to get up at all.
Stop raising the glass, Nick. Oh, dude.
That's even worse, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you're telling me down is worse than up?
I'm telling you, don't move the glass, dude.
You know how many
Dude.
customers I want to say that to every day?
The
Dude.
glass really brings the room together, man.
Dude.
That's why-
When you have to drink from broken glass for the rest of the podcast, dude.
It's better than smoking out of broken glass, right?
Yeah, I guess.
I'll just finish my beer bottle and have you pour the wine in there.
So this is a cab. This is, like Nick said, this is a California cab. This is a big boy cab.
It's a good blend.
And you know what?
Turn it around.
Yeah, turn around. You know what? Check that price on it. Oh, you can't. It's $21, and it's a liter.
It's a liter bottle?
I think it's just a classic style. I think they call that style bottle.
I believe there's Petit Verdot and Petit Syrah in there as well.
There is.
Antiqua. is what they call that style bottle.
Yeah, it is Petit Verdot, Petit Syrah. But I'm telling you, this is more than 750.
I think it's just heavy glass in a bigger bottle.
I
It
tell you what, if I
the
was in
label's
bar
a little
fight-
bit weird. It doesn't follow all the norms of labeling. It does achieve the like 3 tenets of California label laws, but it is
It could be a 750, and if it's a 750, it's one that I'm using as a club.
it's heavy as junk. That glass is so thick. The shoulder on the way it is, and the punt, it's all different.
I mean, this is the biggest cab we have on the shelf.
I remember I asked the distributor. I was like, "What? We don't have any other bottle like that."
Are you talking like flavor wise or just bottle wise?
I'm talking about bottle
Just
wise.
the glass.
Dude,
It'd be
that bottle is a weapon.
Yeah.
like, you know how we melted some other bottles? This one would be kind of tough to melt. But who knows? Maybe. I think they call it Antiqua. It's like a antique Bordeaux style or
All
something.
right, anyway, I got to stop admiring the bottle. Stop admiring the vessel and start admiring the wine.
Dude, I just popped off like a bunch of just like a series of like 3-5 just silent but fruitful belches.
But I get a lot of fruit on the nose with this one. Blackberry, cherry, raspberry thrown in there probably a little bit. A lot of bramble fruit though on top of the little bit of cherry I get.
How about some plum and blueberry?
Guys, I'm picking up
A
a
little
little
bit
bit
of
of
chocolate?
booziness. I mean,
The chocolate comes through to me. Plum, blueberry, I can see that as well. But the cocoa,
Maybe not plum, maybe more fig.
figgy, and datey almost.
I would say right where Josh is talking about the brown fruit. Brown fruit, that's a weird thing to say, but figs and dates are. I think, yes, the insides are like purple and luscious and red. And if you've seen a fresh fig, it's something.
What's that album by
New Year Owl.
Limp Bizkit about the what is it? Chocolate starfish.
I don't think this is.
I don't think we're
close.
talking about the same thing.
No.
However, the darker fruit tones is basically what I'm saying. It's even past those red fruits or deep red fruits, as we call them. Fig, like I said, technically, you eat a fresh fig, it's pink inside. But if you let that fig age out, it's one of those things that can really be more like the way we age out apricots. Dried figs, dried prunes are really where the flavors are that we're talking about here, not fresh fig.
So, nice palate.
Yeah, the palate
Getting,
compared to the nose is
Getting leather.
Yeah, absolutely.
The tannins are not super strong on this. They are definitely there,
present,
but they don't overpower.
top side, not a lot of like.
There's a little bit, but not a lot. That teeth sucking tannin. There's a little bit of it, but not a lot. Definitely getting the darker tones on the palate. The leather, the
Fig and the date really.
I
yeah,
love-
the
absolutely.
the
Here's the thing I
spiciness
like
of the
about
fig
this.
comes through.
Oh yeah.
Even a little bit of white pepper in there.
No, without a doubt. Yeah, like
When we talk about Cali wines having that leather and then getting into the more of those aged characteristics, it's amazing how they just like lose the fruit and then just go right into those big textures. I feel like here's a wine that's really walking on the fine line of those dark fruits and then into those more like textured, textile, leathery.
I'll tell you, it also tastes like an overripe pomegranate.
Okay,
Once again,
Trust me, I have.
you've
eaten my-
had your fair
we're
share.
talking about the difference between dark brown and or red and dark red and brown. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, when the pomegranates start turning brown and you like have to eat them before they go bad. There's a lot of that in there. Like just a sweet, like
Do you guys-
weirdly earthy in a good way.
Do you guys find a little more Italian styling in this wine
is gonna
rather than
sound-
French?
This is going to sound really weird, and it might go along with exactly what you just said. Another flavor that just hit me. So Ashley gave me a hard time today for what I ate right before the manager's meeting. We had those
Bag full of
leftover
nuts.
No, we had those leftover tomatoes.
That's what
You
he
didn't
ate
eat
in the
any nuts
meeting.
at all?
No, Josh. No.
Okay.
we had those little tomatoes.
So
He chewed out.
slightly overripe grape tomatoes.
But there's yes, exactly. And there's
He chewed up a handful of nuts in the meeting.
because people weren't doing that. No, that's another story that doesn't need to be aired
I
out
gave
here.
you guys enough right there. We got it. He whapped
yeah,
us with the
I-
paddle.
Specifically
They got it.
I am specifically referring to a 2-pound bag of pecans.
Oh no, those are at my house.
Oh, those nuts.
Those are at my house.
Those
the
nuts.
pecans are at
I'm
my house.
sorry. Woo.
Anyway,
Oh, he took his nuts home.
so anyway,
That's good. I
back to
told
the
him I
wine,
was
guys.
allergic.
Back to the wine. I'm serious here. So there's little overripe cherry tomatoes.
Pecan, because
Yeah, I'm getting it right in here, just a little bit, because there's
Tomato.
little of
Absolutely.
the acid. You brought up the Italian more. There's there's a little bit of acid there, a little bit of that overripeness, because as they were overripe, they were a little bit. They had that acid, but they were a little sweet as well.
I know it's kind of cheating, but
like
like
when fermentation kicks in and the sugars start to devolve, and you also get that slight sense of umami. Because tomatoes do carry like a degree of umami. They have glutamates in them,
in the
which is a
stewed,
major component of the umami flavor.
in the stewed nature of that, like right, or are you saying even
So
fresh?
Once they start to break down, the glutamates come out.
Uh-huh.
So Rob was eating glutamate tomatoes.
I made bouillagnese last
they were
night, and
very
that's
tasty.
actually
I mean, I'm not gonna fault him for eating partially.
my
shriveled
early
up
dinner
tomatoes
was spaghetti
because-
bolognese, and I feel like this is what was missing.
I think it would go well with that.
You know, simple rouse. Just gonna talk
Yeah,
about.
absolutely, man. But glutamic acid is like a major component of flavor, and there are only a few really good ways to find that in nature.
My brother and I were talking
Most
about
of
this
it
today.
is seaweed.
That why this huge emphasis on fresh tomatoes when actually like old tomatoes taste better.
It's a solid point.
Well, and there becomes that point though where it's old tomatoes versus rotten tomatoes.
It's really it's almost like the fine point between like cooking like a
Well,
piece
you know,
of meat.
the gardener
like,
wants to keep the tomato on the vine as long as
what's
possible.
the difference between mid-rare and medium?
But-
Because none of us actually want to eat a medium steak if we order
In-
it mid-rare.
And the possibilities are hail, spiders, caterpillars, deer, you know, so
For mid rare and rare.
well, what I'm talking about is the garden perspective of how long can I even keep this on the vine?
Oh,
And this
okay.
is-
I'm
we've-
sorry, I missed that. I missed
It's-
that transition.
It's the same thing, just different metaphor.
the beautiful thing about fruit and vegetables is like the opposite of cooking meat. So meat, you start out absolutely rotten and you make it something else. Fruit, you start out all the way well done and you want it less. So the beautiful
We see
thing
both
is-
techniques in wine, by the way.
So it's like with steak, you want it mid-rare. You don't necessarily want it rare. Rare is all right.
I normally go on the way to mid rare is what I want.
It's like
my
a
steak.
Willamette Pinot Noir.
I
Yeah.
want it to end up mid-rare halfway through me eating it, almost. You know, like I want it to come out and then like be prepared that way.
If I'm at a nice restaurant,
That's-
they ask me how I want
that's
my steak,
Nouveau.
It's on the way to mid rare.
That's that Beaujolais Nouveau that Josh is.
But you know, like with a vegetable, you
I'm
want
just
it
throwing a wine metaphor on your guys' meat choice.
Why you gotta hit me with that?
like a lot of vegetables are really good on their way
I
to
appreciate
rotten,
your mature
you know?
taste, Rob.
So it's
Yeah.
like you go the opposite
You know,
way. With
Ashley was grimacing on those tomatoes today, and I thought they were wonderful. I really did. I thought they were wonderful.
Dude, I think like absolutely firm tomatoes are disgusting. They're too acidic. It's like not evolved.
I've been telling you guys about that bizarre cheese I bought. That I'll just leave nameless.
I thought you were. I thought you
The
were.
Taleggio?
You're not, I thought you were not going to talk about that ever again.
Yeah, and then
And that's why I thought he said he'd never.
2
talk
weeks
about it
later,
again.
listen, my brother was like, "Hey, trash day's tomorrow. Can we throw that out? It's stinking up the whole fridge." And I was like, "No, man, leave that. It's getting really good."
Dude, that does not compare to the countless times I've had Limburger in
You have to shave off the rind of Taleggio. I promise you.
So
Internet.
I would. There have been so many times when I've been cheese shopping for us for our plates, and I've been so
Tastes
tempted,
like Morel.
I've been so tempted to get some Lindbergher.
Well,
And I'm like,
see-
no, can't do it.
Yeah.
Now Limburger is such
Outside.
a mild
That's why.
for the scent of it. It's so mild. As like far as flavors concerned,
Rob, that's
you have
what-
to pair it with like spicy mustard.
That's
and
why the
onions.
employee break room is in plein air.
Is what?
But
Is what? I
if
didn't
you're
hear you.
watching on the podcast
plein
right
air.
now and you really have no idea what we're talking about, what we're
Al
talking
fresco.
about is Limburger cheese, which is widely known to be the worst smelling.
There's
cheese
two
out
things. There's two things I do not want Josh to do on the airplane ride or the boat ride or the car ride I go with him. Crack open his durian or his Lindbergh.
Well, Nick also is well aware of the fact of how much I love pate and liverwurst and all of that. So
still-
give me some liverwurst, some Limburgers, some raw red onion, and
Just-
some capers on some rye toast, and then we're solid.
Can we
man.
just make a quality terrain for the three of us and eat it on rye Melba?
So, while we're talking about all this food, how about a food pairing for this wine?
I'm gonna go hands down just anything like marinara, tomato, like Italian based, beefy is gonna be good. Chicken's not gonna be too far off, but I think when I tell you that, that's gonna open a world of possibilities that these guys are. I'm gonna give you the simple, little, and gritty.
So-
these guys are gonna go complex.
In my family, we do a lasagna with beef and Italian sausage.
Bingo.
Bam.
I,
That's my contribution.
I don't actually think this would go that well with tomato.
You don't. I'm getting that sense.
I think it would play well with it,
Uh-huh.
but I think a better pairing would be probably something gamier.
Okay.
With
Yeah,
the
yeah,
dark fruit,
Yeah. Yeah.
I would lean more towards venison.
I was gonna say venison or duck or something gamey.
I don't know that I would do duck,
I wondered how far Josh was
It's
going
a
to go
little heavy
here.
for duck. I
Yeah.
think.
but I would lean more towards like venison or rabbit.
Yes.
And
This is what I was
Goat.
hoping he was going to say.
I think goat meat would be really good.
Goat is vastly under.
Rob and I have this secret mission to preach the good gospel of
Goat and
To-
rabbit are
to-
very lean
Goats
meats.
make good milk and they make good meat.
And they're
If
both
you-
very high in protein per ounce, right?
If you've never eaten goat meat, you should. We don't eat it in America, which is weird because the most widely eaten meat on the planet is goat meat.
Venison is a very lean game meat. And if you know anything about Nick, he doesn't buy ground beef at anything less than 90. So I think what we're talking about,
Anything? You really? You don't buy ground
I got
beef?
some of that 87 they had around.
Ooh, man.
You don't eat fatty ground beef,
15 for tacos.
dude.
There's
you
some
are-
73 at the supermarket. If you guys like fatty beef, go get it. It's
That's
there.
what you make burgers with.
If you want your grill to start on fire.
Hey, so
Oh, good.
the burgers I cooked for you a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I could only eat half at a time.
Outside,
My gallbladder started
outside
crying.
of us having to eventually. So we'll handle this.
like it tasted great, but there's just so much I'm gonna. My point being, everything Josh said, everything I was talking about, leaner red meat with
No,
the.
I wouldn't even say necessarily leaner. I want the gamier flavor. Like I want that more wild flavor.
Okay,
In the meat.
but
So,
don't
like,
ride the
goat
fats, ride the
venison-
wild.
Yeah, you're really looking for that foxy, earthy flavor in the
Mm-hmm.
meat. I think that is what would pair like amazingly well with this.
I
Or if we're
Hands
gonna
down
go,
agree.
if we're gonna go poultry, I would go like quail with cherries.
there we go.
I might even go goose.
Grouse.
Goose would probably be good.
If you guys,
Pheasant.
No
grouse.
One
You guys,
no one knows what the hell a grouse is, Nick.
it's a pheasant west of the Mississippi.
No one knows what a pheasant. Speak proper.
I don't know.
What kind of bird?
Pheasant.
It's like a turkey that's like
I've seen
a
a
North
peacock
American
once.
peacock is a pheasant. It's flightless, although pheasants technically fly and grouse kind of.
Yeah, I got chased out of a bar by a peacock.
Have you ever been walking in the woods and you hear that boop 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 boop? It sounds like somebody's like beating the ground or the floor. That's pheasants and grouse.
No, I've heard coyotes running at me.
Boop, boop. They do this noise, and that's how you know where to find them.
So, speaking of the goat, one of the
You've reduced us
one
to
of the
animal
things,
calls.
Just a real quick side note. You know, Josh and I have been doing these. We've started doing these special dinners once a month up here at the shop.
We got
And-
another one coming up.
Great
guys.
timing.
We
Speaking
got
of
another
al
one coming up.
fresco, right?
But what I wanted to bring up was the goat. Josh and I are working on a possibly late summer, early fall primal cook.
Why are you bringing up the goat now? Baseball season's about to begin. You know I'm a Cubs fan. I got a whole new roster to deal with, and you got to bring up the goat?
Well, there's nobody that's a goat on a Cubs team. So I'm sorry.
I'm not talking about a greatest of all time. I'm
Yeah.
talking about a literal dead goat on some sticks.
So Josh and I are working
Sounds
on this idea
fantastic.
for a primal cook at the end of the year. It's probably going to be one of these all-you-can-eat, 20, 30, 40 people dinners, and it'll have a bunch of smoked and grilled meats out on different. Cooking platforms.
Effectively a Brazilian style buffet where you just eat all the meat that you can possibly
We're
shove
talking-
inside of you.
Well,
Meat.
we'll have
Meat.
vegetables.
Flame.
Well, there will be sides.
I mean,
but
there'll be
flame
like,
on meat.
there'll be
Awesome.
you just eat everything.
Can
you
we call it
can.
meat fire?
I mean, we'll call it something, but yeah, I've already got the vegetables too planned. Right there with the chickens, we spin some cabbage on next to them.
Yeah,
I heard a country music lyric.
We got
Every state should have a Burning Man. We could.
We
So-
have some really cool plans coming.
So
up.
if you have any,
I'm excited. I really am.
ideas,
I'm
to try
joking.
stuff like that, I would keep
But it's 'cause
that
I-
in the back of your head. And yes, wood-fired chicken, Ernie.
Beautiful.
We have, we're talking about a circular ring and hanging chickens and smoking them over an open.
and if we can
charcoal.
find ducks, I guarantee it
Yeah.
will be a Peking duck or two up there.
Also,
Anyway, that's going to be a late summer, early fall if we can get all the apparatus we need made. And
And the clearance, therefore.
let's worry about the apparatus first. I'll worry about the clearance when I beg
we
forgiveness.
did talk about that. We know a local crafter who's
Hopefully.
potential get him engaged and things like that. Projects like that. In fact, up above Rob's head is a local crafter. I don't know if they can see it on camera.
Oh, the flag.
The
Yeah.
American flag, yeah. And we have other versions. That's actually for sale, so feel free to ask next time you're around.
It all goes back to the wine, though. I just thought it would go better with some of the gamier flavors out there.
I
agree.
agree. Mushrooms too. The morel thing is actually coming back to me
Oh,
as
the
I
morel
drink this.
risotto, yeah.
Yeah,
not bad.
that's gonna be a good call.
That's the second time tonight I mentioned morel, and the third time today we've talked about it. Well, and that's us. You guys have probably already been talking morel. I used to pick those wild in Washington. It was
Were you looking
You know-
Dolomite too?
not in
So-
Washington.
So that made me think this would be a good pair for a wild mushroom soup.
It really would be.
I mean, you got that earthy, and
I think the umami of the gamey flavors would really play well with this.
you keep throwing that umami around.
The savory,
Describe
the
it.
savory aspect. You know, 'cause
Okay,
it's the fifth taste because you got
salty.
salty,
Okay,
sour,
let me-
tart, and sweet.
Let me try. I drink a glass of this with a Philly cheesesteak. I would.
Okay.
I would.
I can see that.
Give me the big kahuna from What's Its Faces.
I mean, I'm a big fan of doing the portobello mushrooms. The baby bellas.
The closest thing we have in American descriptions to describe the umami flavor, aside from just eating Asian food, is meaty. It's the savory aspect of it, outside of salty, sour, tart, and sweet.
What's that? I
Salty,
mean,
sour, bitter, and
Jill,
sweet.
let's
Sorry.
just get totally done with it. But it's like that part of soy
That's
sauce.
not too hard.
That part of soy sauce that I can't quite describe. That I'm like, I don't know if I like that, and then I'm eating it again before I've decided whether I like it.
Marley, I see you
there's a
keep checking
different
in.
flavor in
You're
it.
curious. You keep checking in and going in.
And
Now.
it's
You're
like,
curious.
and
I
we
see.
talk bitters. Bitters a category. Salty, it's a category.
Salty, bitter.
Those
Lisa,
are-
I'm seeing you
Those
checking
are
in.
sour
both in
and
soy,
sweet.
but there's like a whole nother flavor. And then if I can warm that up, and if I can elevate that flavor to a warm flavor,
So it's umami or savory. It's the
Yeah.
meat, it's the meaty, the meat.
bacon
it-
properly cooked on the stove elicits a umami smell. It makes people hungry.
they're-
Fat, thick bacon cooked on a grill.
That will draw a crowd.
which we don't know anything about.
Not a bit.
Not at all. Saturday.
Glorified dumpster fire.
No dumpsters. No dumpsters were involved. No dumpster fires were involved. It was all controlled burn on a grill.
I promise you, I did not buy 4 pounds of really awesome bacon that we have been cooking constantly.
I actually, if Josh keeps talking up this bacon, he's got merit. It's good stuff.
One side benefit of working here is the Saturday staff meal that we will do every now and then.
Yeah, Rob has 2 months in a row now. Rob has put out a really fun staff cookout meal, which happens in the middle of the most busy moment of some of my
that's right,
most
because
stressful
I gotta get
shifts that could happen.
When the shifts, when the morning shift is leaving and the afternoon shift's coming in, we got to get it going right there.
Get everyone just totally
Sometimes we'll do
bewildered.
burgers and hand them to you.
Right
You
when
have
they're
18
nervous, you put
things to do.
food in their hand.
Put a burger in your hand while you're taking an order at the counter.
Sometimes we'll
And
just
the person's like, I'll have that. And you're like, no, you won't.
Honestly, it was the
Some
first
people
time
just
I
give you a
ever
couple of
liked
bacon.
my mask. I was like, so much, thank you, Governor Cooper, for asking
Marley.
me to wear a mask
Marley,
so I can
smoked
hide the
bacon
fact
and
that I'm
sage
chewing
sausage stuffed portobellos.
a
Marley,
horseradish
you
covered
might
hamburger.
have a future here.
Yeah.
Marley, how were the pretzels?
All right.
Not so good. I'll talk to you later.
We should probably start rating things.
Yeah, we're about that time.
Yeah, we got 14 minutes left, guys, before
so-
we hit that hour mark.
So yeah, we're looking at the Sycamore Vanilla Affogato.
I forgot about
Cream
it.
Ale.
will start this one off.
All right,
Josh
yeah.
was
So
happy.
just give the details again. It's $4.75 for 60
Yeah,
ounce
yeah,
can.
yeah,
at 6.4 ABV.
Yeah, so no, Vanilla Affogato, Sycamore Brewing out of Charlotte. This beer, I'm not going to lie, I went into it with very low expectations.
Okay, fair enough.
And it 100% blew me away. This beer blew me absolutely away with the quality of the blend of the flavors, like the quality of the flavors themselves. Every time I tasted something, it was very clearly defined. It is clearly a coffee cream ale. I mean,
Yep.
So I'm going to go ahead and give it a 2.0 on the thumbs. It's getting 2
That's
thumbs
solid.
up.
I mean, that's
double.
he went straight 2-0. That's as high as you go.
Specifically because it is everything it advertised. It absolutely, like, going into this, I mean, the label's really cool.
Yeah, I
But,
like it.
But it's just one of those things, like, you can only hold so many expectations going into a vanilla or a coffee cream ale. And I've had a lot of them. But this is specifically, of the coffee cream ales I've had, better than most of them. And I've had a lot of really good coffee creams. This one, like, the flavors and the way they blended together really stood out. So Sycamore, excellent job with this. I personally, I'm gonna give this a personal 2 thumbs up. Like, I
Cool
really
if I
like
follow up? Or
Okay.
are you ready?
Either way, go ahead.
I don't have much to say. My big thing is great labeling. I know Sycamore does a great job with all their labels. Both tonight were a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, on the serious level of where Sycamore goes with their beer, they did a great job with this label. It gave me a cue into flavor. It really did. Everything about it tells me it's a cream ale. They are not lying. Inside of all the darkness is a light beer with a lighthearted, fun flavor going at it. It's a cream ale with flavor, okay? I'm not going to tell anybody that's not what's going on. That flavor, however, is authentically done with the cream ale and a real coffee. And we've had coffee ales in here. We have coffee drinks. We have hard coffee. We had agave coffee earlier. This thing is brewed with real coffee. And it smells like when you pop this thing open and take a whiff, it smells like grinding coffee. And I love that from a coffee ale. Here's the thing. I closed my eyes and drank it as soon as I smelled it. And I thought I had a dark beer in my hand. Alas, this thing's a cream ale. This thing fits in with your normal beer profile.
That's right.
You can just keep cruising right back on what's going on. You're not like committing into stout land for the night or some oh, I drink only these flavored stouts now. This thing is awesome. Well labeled, well built, and basically well priced. Rob, hit him with that pricing.
$4.75, right?
You can't beat that.
$4.75.
$4.75 for a really nice.
Good flavor and solid ABV.
Yeah. So I'm not going to go 2 on this, Josh. I'm going to just throw it a 1.75.
I like that. So yeah, everybody's talking about how nice this is labeled. So I mean, it's a coffee cream ale. You got coffee pouring over the sycamore leaf. It's right there. Cream. So the affogato possibly is an ice cream style. It looks like in the espresso cup there is maybe ice cream or a dollop of cream of some sort.
Or gelato or
Yeah.
whatever.
So it's a vanilla affogato. Listen, Sycamore, I think they knocked it out of the park on this. So cream ale, generally, it's a nice, crisp, light beer. Mm-hmm. All right, great, we got that. Throw the coffee and the vanilla in there, and this is a vanilla latte. It's nice. It really is. This, if you're a coffee drinker and you're kind of on the fence about getting into beer, this is for you. If you're a vanilla latte drinker and you want to get in on some beer, try this guy. $4.75 for 16-ounce can. I'm telling you, I like both of your ratings. I'm going 1.8. I just can't. It's not a perfect 2, but I will tell you, I was right on my initial assessment where I said I'd probably like that one better than the second one, which I'm going to lead into with that.
Oh yeah.
So this second one is the Dime Bag from Sycamore. It's a triple IPA. This is $5 for a 10.0 ABV, 16-ounce can. You know what? It wasn't what I was expecting it to be.
Me neither, Rob.
I really was expecting, based on everything on the labeling, I really was expecting this big, dank hemp, like Sweetwater's G13 series. You're going to open it up and instantly you're going to be bombarded. I got fruity on it. I got on the nose I'm talking about. Very much New England IPA style. And then when I tasted, I got these sweet. I was overwhelmed with the sweetness from the booze. And then I got orange peel and so forth. I didn't get any of what I was expecting on the labeling. Maybe I was over expecting because of labeling. I mean, it is, Sycamore just does some really nice
You can't
labels.
just label a beer dime bag and not expect our mind to go certain places.
That's right. That's exactly right.
So-
That's exactly why I was looking at the labeling thinking it was going to be a certain way.
Oh God, he's queuing me up for a rant.
So I'm going.
This is what happens when you.
I'm going to go 1 on this one. It's not bad. It's not great. I definitely like the vanilla affogato better. As far as just being a 10% IPA, it was solid. Am I going to knock it for being what it is? No. I'm going to knock it for not being what's advertised.
I dig.
I'm wearing off on you.
You are. You really are.
The longer these two go on about it, the worse it gets for me. So I probably should give my rating before Josh does.
Oh yeah. No,
There's a couple things I do want to note before I just get going on the dime bag from Sycamore. Affogato is a traditional Italian dessert of a scoop of gelato or ice cream, commonly cafe or vanilla flavored, thrown in a glass with a shot of espresso drawn over it. Some variations include adding a liqueur.
Then that's what we got. I'm upping my rating to 1.9.
That's exactly what it is.
That's exactly what we got.
And so I just got to say well labeled.
Yeah, well, that was
That
well labeled.
just tells me, yes, true, correct. However, the dime bag, it cost a nick bag. I may have only got a nick bag. I feel like I invited my old buddy over who told me he had something special.
And all he brought you was seasoned stems.
He called over the pizza man He showed up empty-handed, called the pizza man. I had to buy the pizza, and the pizza man left us deeds and stones. Yeah. And that's kind of where I'm at, is no, I didn't finish my beer. Am I going to? Yes. I didn't pour it out? No.
Oh, speaking of finishing
Is
beer,
it going to be one of the
Same.
last ones I finish tonight just to make sure I caught a buzz? Yeah. If that's all you want, then for $5, I can guarantee you in one can, you will catch a buzz. You probably won't taste much of it. So, in the category of tasteless buzz, Sycamore, you got a stern too. However, that's not how I rate beers. I have to go by taste, flavor, situation, everything. And like the more I like start thinking about everything, I start getting to like a 1-2-5 here. Which is, yeah, you guys have a drinkable 10-pointer, and it's not awfully priced. It's not great priced. Your other beer was lower priced. Like
and
what?
much better in our
And
opinion.
it tasted better. So if you're literally only charging me for alcohol, at this point, I can't understand why 4 point whatever is only 25 cents less than. So
6.4.
Sycamore, figure this the heck out. All right, help us out. We want to drink your Imperial IPAs. We want to drink your triple IPAs. They got to have some flavor to them for us to do it. It can't be a pile of booze tucked in malt with some Captain Crunch and a bag of weed on the label.
Yeah. So I'm gonna echo Rob's rating on this one and just flat out go ahead and say 1 thumb up. Mainly because this one echoes pretty much the pitfall of every triple IPA I've tried ever. Once you hit a certain ABV with IPAs, it's really hard to get the hops to mask the boozy, malty, alcohol nature of it. I've had a select few that have been really, actually solidly decent.
That's where I'm
masking
like,
that.
so they use Simcoe, right?
But
Probably not.
honestly, this one disappointed me about as much as the first time I ever had Dogfish 120 minute.
Oh, wow.
Worst 4-pack I ever bought.
You weren't there for that one, but you were at the house when we cracked that open,
Yep.
and we were all kind of sitting around the bottle. That's this one beer we can't even get down here.
Oh, I've had it, guys. Yeah, it's
and we just drink it. We're like, wow, that
dogified barley wine.
I don't like that.
Yeah, it wasn't.
It was so malty.
The
and
90
so
minute
boozy.
is so awesome. And the 120 just goes.
Well, yeah, it's like because you hit this like different level of booze and like the booze over. So the balance is thrown off.
I talk about this all the time that I
And-
love an IPA at 7.3.
I just I feel like if they played around with the formula, I feel like they could get the balance a little bit better. And they're probably close to where it should be, but
It's close. I'll give it.
Personally, for
And
me,
we know Sycamore's got some brewmasters that can.
That's why you get a
those
thumb.
guys, dude, they don't make bad. This is not in any way, shape, or form a bad beer.
We didn't go
For
thumbless.
me, it's just one of those ones where
Yeah.
I wouldn't actively drink a lot of this. But if you like triple IPAs and you like the heavy buzz, absolutely you're gonna like this.
Gene, I know what you're talking about. I've had Chatham cider. You're right. Anyway, I'm
Chatham.
sorry. I was just
Yeah.
interrupting you. A
Oh, yeah.
little comment.
Yeah,
But
Chatham's
no,
good.
it's like with this one right here, it no way, shape, or form a bad
We had the
beer.
Highway 64, right?
It's just not my beer. So 1 thumb up.
It's so for not being Josh's beer, the defying category, and not achieving your goal, you still got a thumb out of Josh. And to Sycamore, I got to say that's actually a compliment.
That's a solid.
I agree because for me, giving it a thumb is one thing, but Josh is very strict when it comes to labeling, and very for him personally, yeah. If you've watched us
If you
amount of
rewatch
times-
this
lie to me about
episode-
what the beer is, because
If you
lie to me about
if
what
you
it is.
rewatch this episode, you'll see that I have a problem with the labeling of this beer at the outset, and I knew he would exploit it.
That's right.
And I said something about, oh, it's another Imperial. Oh, wait.
Yep. All right, so that brings up our last little selection, the Cabernet Sauvignon, the
Big Red Monster.
Big Red Monster.
So I just want to clean that up. So actually what we had is the Paso Robles Big Red Monster, which contains some Cabernet Sauvignon.
Well,
and
more Sauvignon than Petit Verdot and Petit Syrah. So here's the other thing. This might be the revenge on Perseus.
That's actually what I think that.
So anyway,
I wanted you to get into that.
let's get out of the artwork. Let's
Yeah.
get into the rating. I'm gonna let Nick start on this one.
That's fine because actually, for what you guys are getting, I'm getting a rather simplistic tone on this. Not to call this wine simplistic, but the flavor, the thing that brings me back, the thing I initially tasted that made me friends with this wine is the same thing I keep digging for each sip, and it's what I get. And it's that combination of that fine line between those dark fruits and those decaying and those vine ripe fruits we were talking about, right down to even the candied element of dates and fig and those types of things with those deep red fruits. And then walking right into those spice tones, but very subtly so. Is there a little crack of cinnamon? Yes, not a whole cinnamon stick. Is there a little bit of this oak tannin? Yes, but there's not like oak bark in your wine, and I don't get Cali oak at all. There's this really fun, I think it's kind of Italian styled. I'll leave it open to debate, but a very classic styling with this California fruit, which gives us this really palatable, food-friendly, affordable, and very unique format with the label and the bottle. That is quite pleasing, and I want to throw it a 165.
I just want to follow up with that based on everything Nick just said, fruit-wise, the spice selections he chose. When we were doing the tasting, I pulled out fig, I pulled out some white pepper, I pulled out a couple other things. Yeah, dude, you nailed it. I think this definitely hits along an Italian, like you said. And when you said that earlier, I really keyed in on those grape tomatoes I had earlier, and they were just a little overripe. They just started to shrivel just a little bit, where Ashley couldn't palate them because they were shriveled a little bit. But
Gross.
but those things pack so much flavor.
Oh yeah.
Which I don't know what he pushed. I don't have the headset. Anyway, these pack so much flavor where
We don't know what I pushed.
this wine does the same thing. It packs so much of that. It's got the fruit. Then it goes into the fig, and I agree with you. A little bit of cinnamon, then to the white pepper on the back end.
That's so fun.
It's got a little bit of acid in there, which you're going to get from your Italian reds. A little bit of acid. That reminded me of those
Keeps it
grape
tart.
tomatoes. Yeah,
Just ever so.
a little bit. I really dug this for a $21 California cab. Come on, guys.
And you didn't even talk about the chocolate at the end with like the orange peel.
The chocolate was on the nose, but you're nailing it, Nick. I agree 100% with you. For a $21 California cab, dude, this is 170 for me. 175.
I'm gonna have to
Uh-oh.
once again echo Rob on this.
Yes.
I'm a huge fan of this wine. I'm pretty sure Rob and Nick both knew that before going into this episode. When we first tasted this with the rep, when you brought it in, like the tannins are not as heavy as I personally prefer them
Yes, that's true.
for a cab, but it is also a cab blend.
But they are there.
They're definitely there. But the crazy
It's table ready.
The crazy amount of fruit flavors going on here, and like the ready accessibility of them, and the fact that every sip you take, you get more of the fruit.
Yeah.
It's such a cool red.
Yeah.
Like I think it really lives up to its name.
The Big Red Monster.
Big
I
red
mean, 'cause,
monster.
I mean, there's a lot going on with this.
Yeah.
Every sip you take, it's not a subtle wine. Every flavor you get is aggressive right out of the grate. It's aggressively fruity. The tannins might be a little muted, but all the other flavors you get are relatively aggressive. Like, they show up, they hit you in the face, like, hey, we taste like fruit and oak and spice, and yeah, now you gotta suck your teeth a little bit and we'll go away. And it's like a really cool wine. So I'm gonna go 175, especially for the $21 price point. Like, this to me like tastes like something that I should probably pay more than I'm paying for it.
I can see this as a $35, $40 price point.
I would
In that
compared
quality.
to a lot of the
Yeah.
wines I've had at that price point, like it falls in league with them.
Yeah.
So this is kind of a steal to me. So I'm definitely gonna go 175 on this. Is it the best cab or cab blend I've had? Not at all. There are red blends on the shelf right now, I'll rate higher than this.
Cab
one.
blend. Very important
and
that
that's-
Josh
but
said
that's
that.
also what we got to keep in mind too, is when we're talking about this particular wine, this particular price point, we're not talking about $150, $300 bottle of wine and comparing that to this.
We'll get there.
At most, I'm comparing this to at most like $50 bottles, and I would put this up against a $50 bottle of wine
To hold its own.
to hold its own.
Not
necessarily. Sorry, my glasses fell off my ear. Apparently, there's not an ear there. But I would put it up against one just to see how people would rate it.
Yeah.
And I think that there would be a lot more people that would prefer this than they would ever admit.
I think that's the huge thing that's genuinely acceptable about this wine is it's generally acceptable. It is table ready. It's family ready. You put this out in front of anybody, they're going to enjoy trying it.
Table ready is a great point because this is open, not decanted, ready to pour,
Yeah.
ready to drink.
It's
That's
not
huge.
tight. We don't have to wait.
Hey, Rob, should we open another? Yeah. What's the problem with that, right? Exactly. That's how I feel about this wine.
He wasn't talking about tonight, Josh.
Okay.
He was like, if we're at a dinner party.
It was convincing. It was a very convincing argument. Yeah.
Yeah, I actually was. I had to think about what he just said.
This is
No,
good.
not tonight, Josh.
Good.
That's
good radio, people.
For a second.
I even tricked my friends in the
All right,
studio.
so guys, that's gonna wrap it up on our show tonight. So we had 2 beers, 1 wine.
There's something
Beer
we
we
like.
really like, beer we okay with, wine we really liked.
We had 2 beers, 1 wine, specifically 3 cups.
3 cups.
Awesome. There's something I like to ask Josh to do every week.
Absolutely. And if you're catching us on YouTube, you were not lucky enough to catch us on Facebook Live. Please do remember, if you're watching this video, to like, comment, and or subscribe, preferably both, below the video. If you don't tell us how you feel about this, we don't know what to say, ever. And then we're clueless, and then you leave us in the woods without any guide. It's like Little Red Riding Hood, and she hasn't even found out that her grandmother is actually the big bad wolf. Like, we are just lost without you.
In line with that, I want to add thank you to the ones who did join us live tonight. Pat, Brittany, Sharon, there was Ernie, yes. Somebody earlier, Chris, Sherry Stocks. Then there was Lisa and Marley. They all joined in. Ernie, you joined in as well.
Bigger.
Thank you. Gene, Morgan, you also joined in. I want to thank you. So anyway, keep
List is
talking
getting big.
Keep talking to us during the show. Make sure you comment as well at the end of the show, just to say, whether you thought we were stupid and you're not watching again,
I'll take
or you're
also
going to watch
for
it next
Rob
week.
just so that I can actually handle what you say.
Yeah.
I'll text you instead of saying it out loud.
Or just come by and get some Big Red Monster.
All right, guys. So on that note, we're going to call it an evening. This is the end
Remember,
of
without
episode.
mayonnaise, you cannot have peanut butter.
Huh?
Or turkey.
Huh?
On a sandwich.
Huh?
Wow.